There are journalists, I'll name a few. Beth Rigby of Sky News does a proper job. She's properly sceptical. Louise Goodall of Sky News, properly sceptical. But too many of them, and that includes, I'm afraid, your own Lorna Koonsberg, just pass it on. And that enables...
I think that's out of order. You know,
it is absolutely...
I think it's out of order.
You yourself, when you were independent editor, were notoriously sucked up to power. You are a client journalist yourself. And...
what evidence have you got for that?
I followed your career.
What evidence have you got for that?
Which were your years in Independent?
Peter, it's unbecoming.
I know.
It's unbecoming of you.
I know. You were a crony journalist yourself. It's time this system was exploding.
Have you got any evidence for those?
Yes, I'll send you a... Don't worry, I've got plenty of evidence.
We haven't got any evidence now, so you can come...
All right, why did the Independent...
Hang on a second. You're invited onto radio...
Which year did you end on?
You're invited onto radio...
I'll give you an example of...
to talk about some broad issues, which we allow you to do in a constructive and intelligent way. And instead of talking about the broad thematic issues, you go into a series of attacks. I'm not going to try and defend other colleagues of mine. Laura Koonsberg can defend herself, and indeed has done, and has probably the hardest job in the history of political journalism. But to come on the show and say you're a client journalist, a crony journalist because of the Independent...
You were notorious. You were Lebedev. I mean, the questions which were not asked about your owners during that time, I'm afraid is a real problem.
Talking about politics.
You've got a lot of questions, and it was you who started this. You have a lot of questions to ask about your own political career and your reporting as a media commentator for the BBC while you're at it. Look, the stories you failed to notice.
Let's go back to the broad issue.